Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. Today, I wanted to look at the residual value numbers, pretty exciting, really, about the Jeep Gladiator. You know, Jeep in general gets a bad rap, and maybe deservedly so, in that they're not very reliable. They break down a lot. You have to go in and have this done and that done, and there's recalls. Matter of fact, on the manual transmission Jeep Gladiator, right now there's a problem, something to do with the clutch, I believe. But anyway, I thought it was interesting. I've always heard and known that Jeeps hold their value really, really well, particularly the Wrangler. But what about the Jeep Gladiator? So I thought I'd do a quick search, and of course you have to pick your poison. You know, there's a lot of different information out there and a lot of different numbers. I went with Kelley Blue Book. Why not? They're a staple, I think, in used cars. At least they've been around for about 1 million years. I remember checking Kelley Blue Book way back when I was dealing with my first handful of cars. So let's take a look. Where do the cars rank today, and where does the Jeep Gladiator rank? We're going to go 1 through 10. There's a lot of ties and a little bit of surprising information when it comes to the Jeep Gladiator. Number 1, and I'm shocked at this, is the Toyota Tundra. According to what I saw at Kelley Blue Book, they retained 73.3% of their value after 5 years. And it's got to be predicted, obviously, because all of these are 2023 models. We'd have to be in 2028 before we knew if they were true, right? But this is based on what things are selling for right now and what the predicted residual value or value hold, resale value, is going to be. 73.3%. Number 2, and this is a tie between two different models, two different manufacturers. Number 2, Toyota Tacoma, another Toyota product. That ought to tell you something, right? 66% resale value. Not too bad. Tied with the Tacoma is the Tesla Model X. Again, 66%. Kind of a whole different genre, if you will, electric versus naturally aspirated, but nonetheless, that's where we're at. Number 4, because 2 was a tie, right? Number 4 is the Ford Bronco. Again, surprising to me, this has to be based on sole prediction, right? 65.4%. Number 5, another surprising one, the Chevy Corvette, 65.3%. Now, maybe this isn't so surprising because Chevy did change the Corvette, came out with a new model, and it is awesome. They've also seemed to have kept production down so that they're very difficult to get. I mean, it's hard to find a new, unless you go really, really base, and there aren't a lot of those, Chevy Corvettes out there. Number 6, we still haven't gotten to the Gladiator. Number 6 is the 4Runner, a third Toyota product, 64.4%. Number 7, the Honda Civic, the proverbial favorite or staple in this category, I think. Honda has been in high residual value for a long time. I just sold one recently and got a pretty good price on a fairly basic Honda Civic, 62.5%. The Ford Maverick. This is really odd to me because it seems like most of these are brand new models, maybe a model year or 2 old, that's it. But the Ford Maverick is at 61.7%. Number 9, we have another tie. So this is 9 and 10, depending on how you look at it, I guess. The Subaru Crosstrek. I don't even know if I know what that is. I mean, I know what a Subaru is, but I've never really looked a lot into them. I know what the WRX, the BRZ, some of those, but the Crosstrek, I'm assuming that's some sort of SUV type. 61%, again, a tie. The Jeep Wrangler, 61% as well. Seems to have dropped a bit. I remember when the Jeep Wrangler was top 1 or 2, typically tied with the Toyota Tacoma. So the Wrangler seems to have fallen a little bit, but still 61% is not horrible. We've reached the end of the top 10 and we have not mentioned the Jeep Gladiator. Well, this is where it gets kind of funky, I think. Depends on which company or survey you look at. The Jeep Gladiator, I found, is ranked anywhere between 56% and 70%. Kelley Blue Book kind of has them in the middle right there. 70% is really pretty high. That would put the Jeep Gladiator above the Toyota Tacoma, which would be shocking to me if it's really true. I think we're probably somewhere in the 59, 60% resale value, something like that for the Gladiator. Although pricing on the Gladiator has, I think, skyrocketed. I did a video recently looking at the cost or the price of a new Jeep Gladiator, and I have to say, I had sticker shock. Some of them go as high as $60,000+. It's absurd to me. This really is just a mid-sized truck, like the Tacoma. I wouldn't, well, yeah, let's say the Colorado, the Ford Ranger. You know, to get into a Ford Ranger for that kind of money, I would think you'd be talking about this new Raptor Ranger. That I would expect to be in the $60,000+ range. But of course, that's going to be a hopped up version. So, not really a fair comparison. Now, is it warranted that the Jeep Gladiator be even as high as 70%? I still can't figure out why the Jeep Wrangler is there. The Jeeps seem to be very, very popular, even though they have a horrible reputation for reliability. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And let's throw quality in there as well. Although, I must say, I haven't seen or experienced really any quality issues with the Jeep Gladiator. The paint is good, something that people do complain about when it comes to Hondas and Toyotas, particularly the Tacoma. Look at their white paint. People talk about it peeling and flaking, all kinds. I could go on and on about that. Fit and finish, those kind of things. Never really have had any issues with any of that kind of thing myself. On the interior, everything has been good. Nothing has broken, nothing has warped. You know, I had a Tundra a while back, and sitting down here in the intense South Texas heat, I noticed the covers for the speakers in the dash started to warp. They started to pop up a bit. There was a definite gap between the edge of that cover and the rest of the dash. That to me is a quality issue. I mean, if you have a vehicle that you sell in a climate like this, where there is sun and heat, it should be able to sit outside at least for a while and not have those problems. That Tundra was probably less than 2 years old when I started to experience that warped cover issue. Nothing like that in the Jeep Gladiator. Matter of fact, the only issue I've had with the Jeep Gladiator is the vibration. Did a video about that recently too. I have a vibration at stop. I think it's really, really narrow fuel injectors, the nozzles. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true, because when I put fuel injector cleaner in the truck, everything smooths right out. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you surprised that the Jeep Gladiator is somewhere between 56 and 70%? Do you think that's warranted, or should it be lower? Maybe you think it should be higher. Leave a comment. Let me know. I'd be curious. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.